Welcome to our channel. Today we delve deep into the ancient and enthralling story of Adam, Habeel, Abel, and Qabeel, Cain. This narrative is steeped in history, myth, and religious teachings, providing a rich tapestry of human emotion, divine intervention, and timeless moral lessons. We'll explore their lives, the tragic conflict between the brothers, and their eventual fates, as recounted in various religious and historical texts. The creation of Adam and Eve. Adam, the first human created by God, is a central figure in many religious traditions, including Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. According to the book of Genesis in the Bible and the Quran, God fashioned Adam from the dust of the earth and breathed life into him. Adam was placed in the Garden of Eden, a paradise where he lived in peace and abundance, surrounded by lush gardens and serene beauty. To provide Adam with companionship, God created Eve from one of Adam's ribs while he was in a deep sleep. The two lived harmoniously in Eden, enjoying the bounties of paradise until a pivotal moment of disobedience. They were tempted by the serpent, often interpreted as Satan, to eat from the tree of knowledge which God had forbidden. This act of defiance led to their expulsion from paradise, marking the beginning of human suffering and toil on earth. They were now subject to pain, labor, and mortality, and tasked with populating and managing the earth. The birth of Habeel and Qabeel. After their expulsion, Adam and Eve began their new life on earth, where they had many children. Among them, the most notable are Habeel, Abel, and Qabeel, Cain. Habeel was a shepherd, tending to flocks and living a life of simplicity and devotion. Qabeel, on the other hand, was a farmer, cultivating the land and striving to make it yield crops. The story of their conflict is a poignant tale of jealousy, rivalry, and the consequences of sin. In an attempt to gain God's favor, both brothers offered sacrifices. Habeel, with his pure heart and sincere devotion, offered the best of his flock, a choice lamb. Qabeel, however, offered the fruits of his labor, but with a begrudging and insincere heart. God's acceptance of Habeel's offering and rejection of Qabeel's ignited a deep-seated jealousy and anger in Qabeel, setting the stage for a tragic and violent outcome, the first murder. Driven by envy and rage, Qabeel lured Habeel into a field under the guise of a friendly talk. Overcome by his emotions, Qabeel attacked and killed his brother, committing the first murder in human history. The Quran narrates this event in Surah Al-Ma'idah 5:27-31, highlighting the gravity of Qabeel's sin and the moral lesson it imparts. According to the Quran, after realizing the enormity of his crime, Qabeel was struck with remorse and did not know how to handle his brother's body. A crow appeared, scratching the ground to show Qabeel how to bury Habeel, symbolizing the burden of guilt and the permanence of death. This act of fratricide marked the first instance of human bloodshed and set a precedent for the consequences of unchecked jealousy and sin. Qabeel's remorse and the punishment he faced serve as a stern warning about the destructive power of negative emotions and actions. The death of Adam. Adam lived for approximately 930 years, as stated in the Bible, Genesis 5:5. His life was filled with the joys and sorrows of fatherhood, witnessing the birth and growth of his descendants. According to Islamic tradition, Adam's death was a significant event. It is believed that the angel of death approached him, and Adam, having witnessed the mortality of his descendants, accepted his fate with resignation and faith. As Adam lay on his deathbed, surrounded by his children and grandchildren, he imparted words of wisdom and faith, reminding them to remain steadfast in their devotion to God. His death marked the end of an era and the beginning of the human journey fraught with challenges and mortality. Some traditions suggest that Adam was buried on Mount Abu Qubais near Mecca, and his grave remains a place of reverence. The death of Eve. Eve's death is less documented in religious texts, but tradition holds that she died shortly after Adam, stricken with grief at the loss of her lifelong companion. Some Islamic traditions suggest she was buried alongside Adam in a location known as the Cave of Treasures. Her passing symbolized the end of the first generation of humanity and the continuation of their legacy through their descendants. The story of Adam and Eve's deaths underscores the themes of love, loss, and the inevitable passage of time. Their lives and deaths serve as poignant reminders of the human condition and the shared destiny of all their descendants. The death of Qabeel. The fate of Qabeel is shrouded in legend and religious teachings. According to some Islamic traditions, Qabeel was tormented by his guilt and became a wandering outcast. He was cursed to roam the earth, shunned by his family and haunted by his conscience. His life of suffering and remorse was a direct consequence of his actions, serving as a stark lesson in the importance of righteousness and the heavy burden of sin. In some stories, it is suggested that Qabeel eventually met his end at the hands of one of his descendants in a continuation of the cycle of violence he had initiated. This tragic end serves as a powerful reminder of the far-reaching consequences of one's actions and the importance of breaking the cycle of sin and retribution. Conclusion. The story of Adam, Habeel, and Qabeel is a profound narrative that transcends religious and cultural boundaries. It speaks to the human condition, the consequences of our actions, and the eternal struggle between good and evil. These ancient tales continue to offer moral and spiritual lessons relevant to this day, reminding us of our shared humanity and the timeless quest for righteousness and understanding. References. 1. Bible, Genesis 1:5, provides the account of Adam and Eve's creation, their life in Eden, and the story of Cain and Abel. 2. Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah 2:30-39, Surah Al-Ma'idah 5:27-31, details the creation of Adam, the story of Habeel and Qabeel, and their moral implications. 3. Hadith collections, various sayings and traditions of the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, provide additional insights into the lives and deaths of Adam, Eve, and their children. 4. Book of Jubilees, an ancient Jewish religious work that elaborates on the Genesis account and provides additional details about Adam and Eve's descendants. 5. Islamic tradition. Various Islamic scholars and historical texts offer interpretations and stories about the lives and deaths of these significant figures. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating historical content.